There is a common myth that open source code is written in basements during weekend hours and evenings, and it should be true for a lot of small projects on the GitHub, and I really like them. But there is an other side of the story, and I recommend this video from Shane from the Apache Con, that who pays for the open source, and he claims that most major open source is from companies, which is not a bad thing because it can be more and more easy to get paid for open source work, but I'm wondering how it can be visualized or checked. So what I did is just checked out all of the Apache repositories for all from GitHub for all of the projects, which is a huge number of Git repositories. So the main advantage of the Git repository is that it's very easy to scrape the data because I don't need to use any API. All of the data is local. Well, it uses some disk space. And CDU, yeah, I cached all of the data, but yeah, it's 180 gigabyte. The biggest Hadoop Apache repository is the Hadoop side. I think it's mainly the Java docs which are generated and added, but typically the sites are the hugest one. But what I'm really interested about the commits and the authors, and I would like to check the days and the day hours. So I just created a small script and imported all of this data to a SQLite database. So I have this SQLite database, and it's very easy to create some kind of group. I can say that, okay, let's save everything in CSV. Output can be the commit header hours. CSV, let's use headers. And after that, all what I need is a query. So I need the organization repository from GitHub. And the author time is from the git log, and it's in Unix epoch, so I need to convert it. And after that, it is the weekday from 0 as day, and the same, but it's the hour inside the day. Same thing as hour, and we can count it per repository. So I can just execute it, and it's quite fast, and all of the data will be saved to the disk, which can magically move to my computer, and just checked if I have it here. Yeah. So org repository, this is the 0. It's supposed to be the first day. Oh, the 1 is the Monday. And this is the hours, and this is the number of the commits. So let's try to load them and just calculate something with them. So I need a Jupyter Lab and a URL, and I can open it. Yes. So let's see what can we do. We need to import the pandas and matplotlib just as usual. So let's read everything. And yeah, this is the trick that I would like to move the weekend at the end of the indexes. So I just, the 1 is the Monday. So I just fixing the indexes. So here I should have everything. And just to check it, I can try to do a group by, but maybe I need some project calculation. So yeah, this is the project calculation. So this is the repository. But for example, Hadoop uses multiple Git repositories. So the trick here is just to apply a function to the repository name and split it. And if the first part is incubator, like incubator minus Redis, then the incubator itself is dropped and the second part is used as a project name. So I'm just executing here and checking what do I have. Yes. So here I can do anything like, this is a good group by. And you can see that, okay, it's grouped by commits. The commits are counted and grouped by projects. So these are the number of commits per Apache projects. The highest one may event, but it's hard to compare because some projects has a lot of smaller projects like Maven. There are a lot of Maven plugins, or Camel. I think it accepts multiple commits in one change request, while Hadoop accepts only just one. So one commit is merged as a result of sometimes a very huge work. So next problem, then we are not interested about the per repository. So this was just to check if it's fine. Oh, let's check this one. So we are not interested about the per repository groups, but we need the per project groups. So here we can see that, okay, this is the first day, so Monday, this is UTC 0 hour. And at that time, the Updraft project has 9 commits all the time. So what can we do is just do a pivot table for any kind of project. So let's start with the Hadoop. So we are just using the Hadoop, and okay, let's check what's the result. And the result is just a table. Here is the days, Monday, Tuesday, so on. And here are the UTC hours, which can be very easily visualized as well. So this is the pivot of the Hadoop, and this is the Hadoop contribution. And it's very interesting. This is the weekend. You can see the weekend is not very busy at Hadoop. But the other thing what we can see is the time zones. So because this is UTC, then the middle of the UTC is the Europe workers. So let's say everybody works from 9 a.m. to, let's say, 19 hours. So this is the time in the UTC. So this is UTC. So it's UTC 1 when China starts to work. And after that, India will start to work. Central Europe is because it's UTC plus 2, the 9 a.m. is 7 a.m. UTC. So this is the time when Central Europe start to work. And after that, East Coast, West Coast, and West Coast is even overflow to the next day, right? So this is what we have, and this is exactly what we see here, that the Hadoop is mainly developed in US, and this is Asia, but this is some kind of error. It usually shows that something is imported. So let's check another. Let's check Spark. Okay, what is Spark? Okay, Spark is interesting. So it's missing from Europe, but it's very strong in Asia and US, and it has some weekend activities, but it's not very strong, but it's very noticeable. So let's check, for example, Flink. Okay. Flink on the other end, okay, here everything is committed here. Here I think this is a batch import. But we can see that Flink is mainly developed during the weekdays and mainly from Europe. Yeah, basically Flink is driven by Ververica, which was Data Artisans, but recently a few years ago it was acquired by Alibaba. Or the group itself. So we can expect more and more contributions from here, I think. Okay, let's check a few other projects what we have in the top list. Maybe we can just HBase or any other big data. Yeah, so here the problem is the same, that let's say I would like to somehow compare the weekend and the weekday activities. The problem is that this is by default a weekend for most of the people, but not for these people from the West Coast, because this is the end of the West Coast working day. And this is the reason why this part is shifted. So it's not as easy just to check Sunday and Saturday, right? Because this part is still working hours for somebody here. So one thing what we can do is just sort all of these hours based on the contribution. And we will see the less 2, which most probably the weekends. So let's do this one. This is nothing more, just iterate over all of the columns, do a sort, and then concatenate back to the same format. So the only thing what we need to do is just display this one. Oh, so it's way more visible, right? So this is something similar to Europe, and I think this is West Coast, East Coast and West Coast, and this is Asia. So another interesting thing that, if we can do it, we can even remove the project from the group by, and we can just check it for the full Apache Software Foundation, right? All of the commits. Okay, I don't need to do this one anymore because I'm not filtering. And let's check. Okay, it looks good. I'm doing the sorting as well. Oh, so this is the full Apache Software Foundation. And we can see that, okay, there significant more contributions were created during the work days, but it's a noticeable amount of commits from the weekends. And it's definitely stronger in the US and Europe than Asia, but still there are some contributions from there. And one last thing, so let me put back the project level grouping to here. So, and I need to filter to the project Sling with a lot of repositories, and just do the summary. And yes, what we can see is it's clearly visible that it's a waving cat, isn't it?